what I picture when I picture the Chandrian, I don't know what this is from. Maybe SpongeBob, but there's this like guy and he has blue fire hair. From
Hercules, the Hercules movie, Hades.
Name is Hades, Lord of the Dead. Hi, how you doing?
Is it him?
Yeah, you're thinking of Hades from Hercules.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing in my mind when I think
With
of
the big
him.
blue hair?
Yeah.
So finally, at long last, I convinced my girlfriend to read The Name of the Wind. Mission accomplished. So how long ago did you read it again?
Well, okay. First of all, you didn't have to convince me.
Yeah, I didn't really have to convince you. It seemed like you kind of wanted to, because you know it's like one of my favorite books, so you wanted to read it to connect with me. But...
Yeah, that reminds me. Because I asked Jay what his favorite book was, because I was making him this stupid bobblehead. And I asked him what his favorite book was because I wanted him to be holding a book.
And I said The Name of the Wind, and it is still.
But then he started complaining about The Name of the Wind, being like, oh, like I have to make all these videos, like I'm really not really wanting to like think about this so much.
Yeah.
And I already picked this.
Yeah, I didn't know she was making this for me, and then I started complaining. I'm like, oh, I have to make another King Killer video. I enjoy making them, but there was one period where I made like too many in a row, and it just got kind of tiresome. So I think I told you like Words of Radiance or something. But can we all just appreciate this bobblehead that she made me? Why are you covering the face?
It's not that good, okay?
I love it.
It's kind of gray.
The skin is a little gray, but I love it.
They couldn't get the hair right.
It looks close enough.
And this one is Daniel Green. Am I wrong? Look at it. I probably read about half of it in March, and then I just got really busy, and then I read the other half in June, and then I've been waiting to make this video for so long.
I know.
Because I haven't read the second book yet. I've only read the first book, The Name of the Wind. I haven't read the second book because I didn't want crossover or anything. But I've been waiting to film this video so that I can read the second book.
I know, we've been wanting to make this video for so long now. So I asked over on the Discord server if you guys had any questions that you'd like to hear us answer. So I'm gonna be going through a bunch of those. Some of these are questions that I came up with too. I don't remember which is which. Okay, so question number 1.
Disclaimer! I have only read one book.
Yeah, so some of these questions that you guys wanted us to answer, they had spoilers for the second book, so I had to take those ones out.
Don't spoil it.
You almost ruined it for her.
Okay.
Come on, guys. So first and foremost, a lot of people's enjoyment of the book relies heavily on Kvothe, whether they like him or not. Did you like Kvothe?
I loved him.
Did you actually?
I really like Kvothe a lot. I would be his friend. I told you that before.
I wouldn't even be his friend.
I would be his friend. If I was in this world, I'd be friends with the guy.
I wouldn't even be Kvothe's friend, I don't think, but I like him.
Just because he tried to light someone on fire doesn't mean he's not a nice friend.
I like him, but he kind of breaks, you know, he's kind of a know-it-all. I think if I knew like the tragedy that he's gone through, then I'd be friends with him.
You'd have to get to know him.
Wow, I can't believe you'd be friends.
I'd be his friend. I like him.
Yeah, a lot of people, they think that he's a Mary Sue.
No, he is not.
That's what I'm saying. I'm actually making a video on this really soon. It might even be up around the time this video is up, but I'm making a video on Is Kvothe a Mary Sue?
Silly, he's not. Tell them what a Mary Sue is. In case people are confused.
A Mary Sue, if you don't know, a Mary Sue is a character that's perfect. They're good at everything. Usually they don't really have too many flaws.
Basically, it's me. Can you think of an example of a book with a Mary Sue that's like clearly a Mary Sue?
Oh yeah, everybody says, what's her name, Belle from Twilight. Some people also say that Harry Potter is kind of a Mary Sue. I don't really know about that. Also, a lot of people say that Rey from the new Star Wars movies is Mary Sue, which I kind of agree with. Like,
everyone hates those movies, and you know what? I like them.
I don't. Oh, one of the biggest Mary Sues is James Bond. He's a big Mary Sue character.
Now that's a Mary Sue.
Yeah.
James Bond.
Oh, and I guess the male equivalent is Gary Stu, but everybody just uses the word Mary Sue. But Kvothe is not a Mary Sue.
No.
He's good at a lot of things. He was trained like by the Adima Ru, so he's learned a lot of things, but he's also bad. He like messes up all the time. He makes stupid decisions.
Bad choices.
Yeah.
He has so much like problems. And like just choices he makes. A Mary Sue would not make those choices.
Exactly, and basically all the problems in the book are caused by his dumb decisions.
Yeah.
But I think it's kind of almost like Rothfuss is playing with the trope of a Mary Sue. he's like putting a twist on it, where he's not really a Mary Sue, but he appears that way because he's so good at everything.
He's really good at some things, but he's really trash at other things.
Yeah, well, and he's bad with talking to women. Like, he's pretty bad with Denna. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe you like Kvothe, though. I'm glad.
I like him a lot.
I am really glad, because that's either, like, a make it or break it thing.
I don't know how you cannot like the kid after his family got murdered, and then he had to go live on the streets.
I know.
And he literally got beat to a pulp, like, multiple times.
Yeah.
And then
his father's loot got smashed.
Yeah, that made me
was
so
tragic.
mad.
My eyes watered up.
I was so upset. Literally, these things that this man wrote, like, I was saying, like, Patrick Rothfuss, more like Patrick Ruthless.
Oh, yeah.
Like, so it's so terrible. And then he actually gets to the university and he actually gets in and, like, you know, I would be his friend.
Just feel for him.
I do. When he tried to light that guy on fire, I do not remember his name.
Oh, Master,
No, the boy.
Oh, the boy. Okay, yeah. Pike. His name was Pike.
I hate that guy.
Yeah.
But, okay, I was like, okay, it's a bit far to light him on fire.
On fire, I know.
I just like reading him, like,
yeah.
This took a turn.
Yeah.
Really took
Well,
a
there's
turn.
also this kind of, like, you'll see it kind of grow over the course of the series, but there's also kind of a darker side to Kvothe that you're kind of seeing unravel.
Yeah.
And Rothfuss has said that he actually suffers from, like, really bad PTSD. But there's also just, like...
Well, I think that's fair.
Yeah. But I think he could even be, like, a little bit of, like, a sociopath or something. Which I think makes it interesting, though.
Talk about my friend that way.
I think it makes it interesting if he is. He has PTSD, but then there's also things he does that are very violent.
Like, what was your impression when you first read
The
it?
thing is, I like Kvothe, but the reason I like him is that he's kind of like, he brags a lot, he's a know-it-all. There's things I don't like about him, but it makes him more interesting to read.
He can be a little bit arrogant.
Exactly.
At times.
And hot-headed.
Everyone has flaws.
Yeah.
So I don't mind.
Yeah, and I think that it's actually the flaws that he has that make me like him. There's a lot of people who have criticisms for this book, and their criticisms are that he's too arrogant and they don't enjoy him and all this stuff.
But he's not always arrogant. It's only like, if he's, what's that guy's name?
Oh, Ambrose.
Hate him. He's only arrogant, like, certain people push his buttons and he'll obviously react in a certain way.
And he also kind of sometimes gets, like, a little full of himself and he'll, like, react brashly. Like, he'll just react on his emotions real quick.
But sometimes
that makes him realistic, I think.
But sometimes he's doing that when he's purposely, like, in his performance mode.
Yeah, that's true. Like when he's telling the story to Chronicler, as he's Kote in the bar, he's still, like, a little bit arrogant even then, though. Like, when he's telling his story, he's like, I've burned down the town of Traben. I've stolen princesses back from sleeping Barrow kings. Like, he gives this big, like, portfolio.
It sounds really good.
His portfolio of all the things he's done. So he is kind of, like, bragging a little bit.
He's explaining it all. That's his heyday. Who doesn't do that?
Well, and the thing is, too, he's supposed to be like a bard, or, like, somebody who likes to tell stories, so it's just part of his character.
He's theatrical. Like, of course he's gonna explain it in that way.
I wish I could explain my life stories like that.
Well, you're supposed to be a writer. Work on it.
I just haven't done anything that cool.
He's very good with his words.
Yeah, okay.
Unless he's talking to Denna. And if you don't like him, how did you read it all? I don't know.
Okay, so what overall was just your favorite part of the book?
Oh, I can't decide that.
Was it the Dracus part? When she kind of...
The thing about the Dracus part for me is I don't usually, like, sit here predicting what's going to happen.
Coming up with theories and stuff?
No, like, just predicting what's coming next. I just want to be there with a character.
Yeah,
I know everybody, like, predicts, but I just want to be there. And so I should have obviously seen this coming. I was so, like, what? Because of the book.
Right.
The Dracus book. What's it called?
The common mating habits of a Dracus or something.
I should have obviously known that one was going to show up at some point. I just never thought of it. So I was really, like, it felt like this whole other book.
Yeah.
But I didn't see
it kind of takes a big turn. Yeah, and like, you don't expect that to happen.
It's just like university, and it's like, whoa, we're on this adventure now and there's a dragon. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm dumb because that's so clearly gonna happen. Maybe not with Denna per se, but, like, there's obviously gonna be a dragon. Here, I don't have, like, a big section, really, that's my favorite, but I have, like, little things. I love the interactions with Auri and Kvothe.
Oh, me too. Me too.
We can get more into that later.
Yes, we'll have to talk about
but
Auri.
Those parts are just such a treasure of the book.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good. What's it called? Tarbean?
Yeah, oh yeah?
That whole, like, terrible
The terrible
part.
time he goes through.
It was just so, I was glued to my book.
That's actually my favorite part.
Just wanting him to get out of it so bad and, like,
Yeah.
not knowing what was going to happen. I thought that part was terrible, but, like...
Engaging.
Engaging is a good word. I liked the whole part about Kvothe trying to get his...
Oh, okay, the talon pipes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that part a lot, like, just the description of, like, him playing it and all that. And I just really liked the, like, flirty bits with him and Denna at the end.
What did you think about the description of music?
I loved it. He gives you such a feeling of what everyone is experiencing.
That's one thing that I love about The Name of the Wind. That's actually one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite books, is just the description of music. I love it so much. Like, I haven't read too many books that describe it in such a beautiful way.
Oh, I know one.
Yeah?
Okay, this one says, have you subscribed to the Sunshine Seekers?
Yeah, if you guys don't know, me and Katie actually have our own vlogging channel. So if you want to see more of our beautiful faces, or Katie's beautiful face, then go check out our vlogging channel. It's called The Sunshine Seekers, and I'll have it linked in the description. It's some fun, wholesome vlogs.
It's like Auri and Kvothe, like, it's that kind of wholesome. That's what you want. That's what you're looking for. You should go subscribe, because we're nice, and you can always unsubscribe.
We're hot.
And Jay's hot, so if you want more of this, then you can have it.
Okay, another question. Why is Auri objectively the best character?
I love Auri. She's so great.
The actual question was like, who was your favorite character? But everybody knows it's Auri.
Auri.
I love Auri too.
I just love the way that Kvothe is around Auri.
Yeah, me too.
He's so sweet and gentle and, like, imaginative. He's just so playful. Yeah. And it's just so sweet. Like, it just so warms your heart to read it. I just love it.
I love it too. And I like how Ari's kind of like protective over him too.
Yeah, and she like started making little jokes or whatever. I just love her. She's like from a whole different planet. I just love their interactions with each other. That's why I'm so excited to read that other book now.
Oh, the novella?
Yeah.
That makes me so happy that you like Auri too, because I like her a lot.
I don't know how you wouldn't like her.
Why do you think Auri is living underneath the university in the Underthing? That's not even a question on here. I just thought of that. Like, what do you think is up? Okay, well, one thing is that they mention how there's some people who can't take the pressure of like naming and doing all this magic, and it actually breaks their mind into like fragments. It breaks it.
Oh, right.
Do you think
that guy that lived in the loony bin?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe she escaped from there. I don't know.
So do you think maybe Auri could be like a bit broken in some ways? But
sure, but not in a bad way.
Not in a bad way. She's a happy broken.
She's the best kind of broken. Everyone should be like that.
I wish I was like that. I love the description of Auri, how like her hair floats around her like a halo. Like, I know I've kind of noticed that with you sometimes. Like, just you have like some hair that kind of looks like it's floating almost.
I love her.
But
I'd be friends with her too. I think we'd be the 3 best friends.
Yeah.
And you could come over sometimes, but not all the time. We're busy.
I will bring a sinus fruit, and then you'll invite me over. What do you think about Denna? A lot of people have thoughts about Denna. I'm not as hard as some people are. Like, some people hate Denna with a passion. I don't hate Denna. I do find her frustrating, but what do you think?
Denna is a very elusive character. She's so like withholding for so much of the book.
Yeah.
So I understand people being upset. It's because you just want more information.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, it's from Kvothe's
perspective.
like,
yeah.
He didn't know those things. Like, he was so bad at talking to her and like finding her. So he had no clue. So it had to be written like that.
Yeah.
But I think what bothers me when I was thinking about this, because I heard everyone hates her.
I know.
But I was thinking, there's another character who is also, like, elusive.
Oh, okay.
But everyone thinks he's cool. And they don't get frustrated about him.
Who are you going to talk? I thought you were going to say Auri for a second, but who's him?
No, everyone loves Auri. Aladin! There's so many questions about him. He's just there, and then he's not. And all that, like, I think there's a lot of similarities between them, and like...
Between Denna and Aladin, okay.
I mean,
I get what you mean.
In the way that Aladin, also elusive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of questions surrounding him. Like, you don't get a lot of information. You just get little glimpses.
That's true.
It's similar with Denna, But
true.
people don't care because
Elodin's funny though. He does weird, quirky things.
No. He's okay. I don't get people's obsession with him. I'm sure there's a lot more in the second book about him, but so many people like have this problem with Denna when it's actually the exact same thing with Elodin.
Wow.
But they just don't care because he's a guy, I guess.
We got hot takes now. We got a hot take.
No, but for real.
No, I don't think it's just because Elodin is a guy. I think it's just because he is weird and quirky. Like Denna's not really like that. She's just kind of mysterious.
I don't know if he's quirky in the best way though. He made Kvothe jump off a roof.
I love
What's
that part.
What's good about that?
I love that part.
I wasn't captivated by him.
Wow.
But
we got our first hot take.
There's a hot take for you. So I think there's other characters in the book, is my point, that are also a bit withholding. I myself was frustrated with her though, because I wanted more. Yeah. But because of Kvothe's perspective, you have to realize that you're not going to get that.
There's a lot of theories that Kvothe is an unreliable narrator, and he's lying to the chronicler.
Those are all people who think he's a Mary Sue.
I think he's just exaggerating, embellishing a bit.
Yeah, who doesn't embellish a good story?
Yeah, I think that's all he's doing. I think he's embellishing a little bit, but I don't think he's completely unreliable like some people think.
And then I was happy to have her and Kvothe at the whole end of the book. I thought that was great.
Yeah, the whole part with the Dracus,
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like that. I don't understand why.
I really liked the way he wrote about them. When Denna had her guard down and stuff, and they would actually say cute things to each other. Oh.
I like that part too, actually. I think the reason a lot of people complain about that part is because they don't like Denna. But I like that part.
I thought it was so endearing. It's very clear that she likes him. By the time they're together, just the two of them, and there's no more missing Denna.
I guess
she's not running away. She was doing that for a purpose.
I guess so, yeah.
And now, when in the moments when she's just with Kvothe and they're trying to go to sleep, like this for example, I guess she's just waking up or something. Kvothe, you're so gentle, you never push, and she's you could push a little more. I think it's so obvious that she likes him.
Yeah,
and he just can't.
She wants him to put in more effort.
I think she does like him. I just think she couldn't stay in one spot. She wasn't in. Yeah. She wasn't ready for a relationship, okay? They're 16. Have you seen 16-year-olds? It's not a mature thing. So I think it's perfect the way it is.
I don't know. From the cover of this book, it looks pretty mature.
This is not accurate.
He doesn't look 16 to me.
That is not an accurate depiction of what I see when I think of Kvothe. I think she's giving so many hints. Kvothe is just not...
He's not picking up on those hints.
He's not picking up, and then he's too shy to ever do anything. He's stunned.
Like a lot of guys.
Which I think is fair enough and very endearing. I loved it.
Also, maybe I'm just naive here, but a lot of people I've talked to, they keep telling me that Denna's a prostitute. I don't think she is.
No.
Okay, I was wondering, is this just going over my head?
That's the haters!
Because I was wondering, is this just going over my head? I know she has these different patrons that are older men, which, by the way, if you want to become my patron, I have a Patreon link in the description.
Oh my gosh, that is such a segue right there. Obviously, you can spin it that way. She's hanging out with all these different guys, and yes, they're giving her gifts. But if you consider the pull that she has on every man that seems to be in the story... Yeah. Not just Kvothe, but everyone else, I don't think that's initially what they're going for. Maybe they are trying to go for that after, and that's why she switches to someone else.
Maybe that's the case.
Because they're giving her all these gifts, and it's fine, but then it turns into something else, and she's no, I'm gone, and then she leaves and she gets someone else. Yeah. But I never thought she was doing
I don't think she is either.
People.
So we could just talk about the sexism then in the book, and I do know that Rothfuss has even said that the world is sexist in the Kingkiller Chronicle.
So I did have a problem with the book. I had some concerns because I'm starting to read this book, and I know that it's one of Jay's favorite books, but I'm a little unhappy with the way that some women are being talked about. The level of respect there is not what you'd want. Yeah. However, I understand that it's just the world it's set in. It's set far away, long time ago, whatever. It makes sense that it would have
there's some sexism there.
Sexism. Do I think that is Patrick Rothfuss's
viewpoint?
No, not at all. I think it is part of the world. Some of the stuff though I didn't enjoy reading. There's just a couple.
Well, you should show them the note you took in the book. I thought it was kind of funny because
I haven't many notes, okay? This is not all on sexism. I told Jay it was.
Yeah, I know.
I told him
I'm like,
every
wow,
sticky
I didn't
note
know there's that much.
represents how sexist part of this book. But no, like, there's just a few things. I really like Kvothe's mom. I thought she was so great. I really liked her.
Yeah.
But his dad?
Arladin.
I like his name. I don't like him very much. Just because
There is a couple things he
his mom
says.
is so smart. Just great. And his dad is an idiot. And he can't... Not an idiot, but like, he just... His mom, I feel like, has the answer that he's looking for. And he won't listen to it. And then also, there's this part where... I was like, it's when Ben and Arladin are talking, and then Ben just is like, oh, that's a clever wife you have there. Okay, finally, a positive thought about a woman. And then he says, how much will you sell her for? And I was like, I wrote so close.
Yeah, sure, so close
note.
on the sticky note.
And then obviously there's the part where Master Hem is so terrible to that girl. She comes in late to class, and then he's like, can you cross your legs? And then he's like, oh, well, now that the gates of hell are closed, we can start.
Right, yeah.
Bro,
I forgot about that.
You're just mad because you've never been. It's not even just these women that are like on the streets that are being talked down about. It's women that have made it to the university and are actually there that are also being talked down about. So I didn't like that part that much either.
Yeah, I think Rothfuss even mentioned that the masters of the university are like sexist or something, and there's no female masters.
It just reinforces that the whole world is sexist, but but I think the part that saved it for me, like, it gets less, I fell through the book, but the part that saved it for me is the conversation with Kvothe and Diok.
Okay.
Because Diok, I feel like he's one of the only characters that is very close to a woman in the book. He's the only one who really can offer perspective on Denna's situation. It's on page 515 because they're having the whole heart-to-heart, and he's like, I don't understand Denna, like, what the heck is she doing? Like, she's with all these other guys all the time. And Diok's just like, well, what is she supposed to do? She has no family. You know how women are treated. Even if she's not like going on the streets and doing those kinds of things, yeah, she could go be like a seamstress or a serving girl, it says, or a weaver. Yeah. But, well, Kvothe said that. He's like, oh, she could go be a seamstress or a weaver or a serving girl, and then Diok's just like, come on, bro. You know, like, she's a young, beautiful girl, and she has no family, no one to protect her. Either way, she's gonna get totally taken advantage of.
Yeah,
so I really thought this specific conversation for me, like, saves the whole sexism part, because it was just like, it just showed empathy, because it showed how hard life is for women.
Yeah.
In this world. But after the conversation with Diok, I understand, like, why she has to do that. Because she's in a really similar situation to Kvothe, based on what I read anyways.
Would you say the whole book is sexist trash?
No, I would say there's elements of sexism in it, but it's a choice of the world. Yeah. It has a purpose, it seems, to me. It's not just sexism for... no
just
reason.
For the sake of it.
It has a purpose in the world that he built.
Like, she's not just falling into the stereotype of becoming a weaver or a baker. Like, she's trying to do her own thing. Yeah. And she's trying to not get, like, used by people or abused.
Yeah, she's actually trying to flip it completely.
Yeah, I think that's
she's flipping the narrative completely, actually.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good point. I think that she has to do that, I think, to get by.
That's the point I was trying to get to. I just couldn't find it. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then still with this Master Ash now, he, like, might be abusing her too behind closed doors. So, I don't know. But I do think that she has a mission, though. Like, I think she's trying to do something. She's trying to gather some type of information. Like, she's searching for something. And maybe she can't get close to Kvothe because she needs to just be focused on that. Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. Really, now that we put it, like, in those words, of, like, yes, it is a sexist world, but Denna flips it for herself. I think that she actually becomes even that much more important of a character. I think people need to stop being so hard on her.
So for those of you that don't like Denna, let us know in the comments why. Like,
tell me why
let
I'm
us know
wrong.
why. Yeah, let us know in the comments why you don't like Denna.
Honestly, I like her more now.
Wow, yeah, we kind of worked it out.
That makes so much sense.
So who is your favorite university master?
Not Elodin.
That's like everyone's favorite master.
I love
Elodin.
Kilvin.
Kilvin is great. I love Kilvin too.
He's just such like a dad.
He's that big, like, friendly giant character.
He's
like
exactly,
the big bear.
He's just what Kvothe needs. He really looks out for Kvothe, I think.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
there's few people that do. Kilvin, 100%. Who is your favorite?
My favorite is still probably Eladin. I think.
Basic!
I think he is my favorite master, but Kilvin is like definitely second for sure.
He's number 1.
So the Amyr are the order going against the Chandrian. Do you think it's possible some of the university masters are Amyr?
I think anything is possible.
Is
Honestly.
Master Lauren an Amyr? Okay, Lauren is the one that is in the archives.
I know.
And he like stops Kvothe from doing research.
Bro, I thought the whole archives was gonna burn.
Oh yeah.
I thought, because I was expecting this entire book
Yeah.
for Kvothe to finally get kicked out.
Yeah.
I thought it was gonna happen in the first book.
Yeah.
Maybe it happened in the second book. I don't know for sure. But I thought it was gonna be done right then. I was like, this whole thing's gonna burn.
Oh yeah, so soon after he gets there
I know.
too.
I really thought it was gonna burn down, but
Yeah. So yeah, Master Lauren kind of like stops him from doing research on the
Yeah.
Amyr and the Chandrian, which is just kind of suspicious.
because I don't know diddly squat
I'm gonna
about
give
the Amyr.
I'm gonna give my opinion, and I do think the university
Based
masters
on the
are
first book.
Amyr. Yeah, I was even questioning this in the first book, so yeah, I think they are. But I don't know if all of them are. Like, I don't know if Eladin is, but I do think some of them are Amyr.
Honestly, Hem's probably just mad because he like isn't part of it, and that's why he's so bitter. They just won't let him. They're like, nah.
Somebody from Discord wanted to know if you liked the story, or did she like it because it was well written? So did you like the story, or just how well written it was?
Yes, to both. I
Good.
loved the story.
Good answer.
I loved the writing. But I think that's a bit funny if you only... I mean, I know he's an amazing, amazing writer. He has amazing ideas as well.
You gotta like both.
Like-
The prose in general, I don't think that sells it for me. I think the prose is really beautiful, but I think that the story definitely carries it.
But at the same time, don't you think Patrick Rothfuss could write anything and you would read it just because
Yes.
of how well written it would be?
Yeah, that's true.
So I see what they're saying.
That is
but-
true. Well, for instance, the novella with Auri in it, like, it's basically...
Which I didn't even know existed.
Yeah.
I knew there was like the second book and then there was like this other...
The Slow Regard of Silent
Yeah,
Things.
so I knew that was a thing, but I did not know
That it was about Auri?
it was about Auri.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
See,
like-
that's proof right there that Rothfuss can write anything and it will still end up being pretty good.
How would
like,
you not?
because it's just
How
like
would
a...
that not be good? It's about Auri.
It's just like the day in
Jay.
the... It's just like the day in the life of Auri.
That sounds like
The novella.
the most exciting thing I could read.
A criticism a lot of people have is that they think that it just kind of stays around the university for too long. But I
Every
enjoy all the parts of the
fantasy
university.
book cannot be
Action.
just battle scenes.
That's true.
I personally don't enjoy that. I'm not like Jane Austen. Oh, let's just read about tea. Like, that kind of daily life is a bit mundane.
Yeah.
But Kvothe's daily life is not.
It's all
Just-
interesting. It doesn't need to be action-packed
Do you know
all the
what I
time.
mean? That's exactly what I like to read.
Yeah. I knew you were a keeper.
If you think that the story was boring,
Yeah.
I am very confused.
I specifically put this question as number 7, but we're just all over the place now.
You
But
would.
what is the deal with the Chandrian? What do you think it is? What do they want?
To intimidate people? Honestly, again, I don't know.
I don't think anyone
didn't-
really does.
I didn't
There's
think
theories.
of it too much. I feel like it's
Yeah.
a little blurry. Like, I don't even know who the Amyr is. I feel like they're connected,
Yeah.
but I don't know how because I don't know anything about.
Yeah, it's all kind of in the background, so it's never really like a big thing in the story besides when the Chandrian killed Kvothe's family.
Yeah, so I don't
Right?
know.
And then there's a bit of backstory about this hero named Lanray, who was this
Yeah.
hero during the Creation War, and then he eventually
He became.
Haliax.
Yes, which is the leader of it.
Yeah, the leader of the
I know.
Chandrian. Wow, you know your stuff.
Then they're like, no, you can't sing songs about us.
Exactly.
Like, you can't look at pictures of us.
Isn't that strange?
So it's like, what do you want?
It's like, it's almost as if they want to just erase all evidence of themselves. Isn't
So
that
they
weird?
can do what?
I don't know. Like, maybe when people call their names or something, it causes them physical pain.
Why?
Well, they've been cursed. So Lanray.
who?
Well, there's the story of Lanray when he becomes Haliax, and then there's
Where the other people come from?
he went and gathered these people, and they joined him as his group of the Chandrian. But then he goes and confronts Celatos on top of this mountain, and Celatos was this ruler of Myr Terinial, this beautiful shining city. And Celatos stabbed his eye out and performed a binding or something with his own blood to bind Haliax. and put this curse on him and those who follow him. So that put all these curses on them. So now that, Haliax is covered in shadow. Cinder, who, it's like really cold around him. And then there's blue fire around all the Chandrian. So there's like these different signs.
But I don't know what they want.
I think they do have a purpose. I think they have a mission.
Are they trying to become not Chandrian?
Maybe. So they have some sort of plan. It's kind of hard to make theories on it when there's not a whole lot of info.
Well, but there can't be info because Kvothe is the one telling the story.
And he's the one hunting for information on the Chandrian.
And he has no idea about anything.
Yeah. Anyway, I think the Chandrian are like trying to get rid of all information about themselves because the curse is either causing them pain or it's causing them to stay alive.
So if they get rid of all information, they will die.
Because they're immortal now. They can't sleep. They lost their sanity or something.
That's fair. Let us know what you think.
Let us know what you think the Chandrian plan is.
We don't know.
Okay, so do you think the story is accurate that Skarpi tells of Lanray becoming Haliax?
I'm gonna be honest. No one's gonna like this response.
Hot take.
Did not like those histories.
Oh yeah, so I think Katie's not really into like that type of fantasy.
It was just a lot.
Yeah.
I had just got my wisdom teeth out and I was like not doing great. And I was having to read this like dense history. And I was just like, whoa, man, like, this is too much for me.
And it breaks away from the story, kind of.
It really did break away. I was like, let's go back to, like, Tarbean, like, tragedies.
That's fair.
But here's the thing. I am not discounting this at all. I think it's a great thing to have in a story. And I think upon second reading, I would actually pay attention to it.
Yeah.
But it was just very dense for me at the time, and I just wanted to go back to Kvothe because that's what I was really interested in. But I think it's a great part of the story.
Yeah.
I just wasn't super into it because it was a lot for me. But sure, Skarpi's story, I didn't question it.
So it's accurate.
Sure, I like Skarpi. I feel bad.
I like Skarpi too, actually. I want him to show up at the Waystone Inn and be like, "Hey, you're that little boy." There's rumors on my Discord server that I may be a Chandrian. What do you think?
No.
Are you sure I'm not playing this nice guy act? It's all just a ruse?
Well, they usually are. Yeah, blue fire. I seen blue fire the other day. He walked in the room and the lights flickered blue. No, he's not.
But if I was a Chandrian, what would my sign be? No, you can make
Am I supposed to make up a new one?
Make up a new sign for me. I know my Chandrian sign. Warming people's hearts and making them subscribe to the channel. Okay.
I don't know if they know, but you're like kind of nice. Sometimes.
Okay, Will or Sim?
Okay, here's my answer. Both.
Okay, you're playing it safe. I'm gonna say Sim. I love Sim. He's my favorite. So the story is mostly told from Kvothe's point of view, so a lot of the side characters don't really have as much depth. Did you notice that like a lot of the female characers, it seems like, don't really have as much
I have something
depth?
to say about this. It's a story from a teenage boy's perspective. So not every book can represent everything. Like, you have to pick and choose. And in a book that's told by a man, like, from his perspective of a teenage boy, it's not about...
When it's coming from his perspective?
It's about him. The story is him. So you can't have your story can only have so many, like, players in it, and you have to pick and choose. You can't represent everything. It wouldn't make sense, like, unless he met some really strong-willed woman and she took him under his wing. It's not about that.
Yeah, like Devi's a pretty powerful like character. She can.
But he can only relate it to the reader so much. It's his perspective, and it's from years ago.
Okay, I'm glad you say that because I've even seen like fellow booktubers on here. I'm not gonna name names.
Name them.
I dare you. I'm not gonna name names.
It.
They complain there's not enough female characters in the book.
Whether it's female characters
or strong female characters,
or some other thing that you like, some other person you're looking to relate to or you're wanting represented in this book, go find a book about a female. I love a strong female character, but that's not this book.
I think that is such a good response.
Every book cannot be about that.
Exactly.
And you shouldn't want it to.
Especially when it's a book that only has one point of view.
Yeah.
Through the eyes of Kvothe.
Yeah.
So none of the other characters are going to be as well developed. They're going to be interesting. They're going to be interesting and all, but they're not going to be as well developed as Kvothe. Yeah. Did you find the plot predictable, or did it keep you guessing about what would happen?
Oh, I was guessing away.
I wasn't
guessing. I wasn't guessing, actually, because I don't like to guess. As I said, I know that's so, like, everyone predicts when they're reading. They're like, oh, because of this foreshadowing, this is going to happen in 5 chapters. I don't like that.
A lot of people do that when they're rereading it, so, like...
I don't even think about it. This tree...
Yeah?
What's this called? It's not in this book, is it? Because I watched Jay's videos long before I read this, and I just remembered this tree, and I remember the 4-plate door.
The first book does not have that tree in it. Yeah.
But anyways, I didn't really have any expectation. I don't even know if he'll get to killing a king in the second book or whatever. No clue, probably not.
What do you think is going on with Kvothe/Kote? So obviously there's like something going on with him in the Waystone Inn. He doesn't seem to have like the same amount of powers, but then there's like up in his room, there's this thrice locked chest. What is up with that?
He keeps his diaries in there, obviously.
We didn't even...
I have a question. Who the heck is Bast?
Okay, that's what we need to talk about. So that's another question we have to talk about.
Someone tell me, please.
Yeah, so do you have any ideas on why Bast is there?
No.
Like...
I don't know, like... So, obviously, he's like a fairy, like
yeah, he's a fae creature. He uses this glamoury magic, which makes people... They don't really pay attention to, like, he has goat feet, right? They see these boots. But what is he doing here? He calls...
His buddy.
He calls Kote Reshi. He calls him like his master. So what is Kote teaching him?
Well...
Nobody really knows, I guess.
But I don't know really much about the Fae yet.
Or do you think...
Because it's not really... I know there's parts about it in the next book.
Or, you know, maybe Bast is a Fae who just wants to learn how to be a good bartender. So he came to Kote. He's like, hey, dude, be my master.
I know.
Help me wash these tables real good.
Maybe Bast is... used to work at the castle where the king is, and then Kvothe killed the king, and then he became the new master to Bast.
He's like, I don't have a master, you just killed the king.
So no.
So
Kvothe
please.
is a master.
I think that's a brand new theory you came up with.
Discuss that in Discord.
Are you interested in the series despite the final book being unreleased? Well,
No.
obviously you're interested in the series. We're talking about it right now.
No, but like, is that something I considered before I read it? No, not really, because I didn't think I would like it as much as I ended up liking it. I mean, it would be nice if I knew
that there was an ending.
It would end, but at the same time, I'm fine to wait. Because the thing about this book is, I'm gonna forget so much by the time the third book comes out that I'll just have to reread it anyway. I do believe he will finish it.
Yeah, I think so too.
It could be a long time. If I was him and I wrote these amazing, amazing books, and then, you know, you have some things happen to you in your life and you get busy, and you come back to it, and there's so many more fans now probably than there even were then.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure
this
on his
huge
shoulders.
Beast to tackle.
Yeah.
And he wants to, of course, you want him to be completely happy with it. So I'm fine to wait for it. I do think it will happen.
That's good. That's a hot take, actually, in the King Killer community.
Hot
because
take.
a lot of people think it's not going to happen. But I agree with that. I think it will. I do think, I understand why some people get frustrated. Like, I think Rothfuss...
I mean, you guys have been waiting for, what, 10 years?
Yeah, 10 years.
So...
And I also think he's like, I don't think he's actively working on it. Like, sometimes he says, oh, I'm working on this part. But I'm sure there's times like, where he's not.
Married and has kids now, and like...
I know, but...
he's doing his life, and...
I know,
so
I know. It just means that you
put himself into it as much as he would want to.
People have to work at the same time, so he should still...
He's wrote such a successful novel that... he doesn't have to. Do you understand?
That's the dream. That is the dream.
I think you said in one of your videos, the faster he finishes, the faster the hype
dies down.
Because there's
That's
nothing
true.
to look forward to.
Yeah. I do just hope that one day he'll want to finish it and put a conclusion to the trilogy and then go write something else.
I think it could be a very long time.
Yeah, I'm optimistic about it, but I do think it could be quite a while still.
It probably will be a while.
You know what? On every one of my King Killer videos, I get comments. People are like, you know he's never finishing the book. Every single King Killer video.
I mean, maybe
I'm like, I'm just making videos on it.
I don't know why he wouldn't. At this point, it's like his life's work.
And plus, he has had an idea in mind for the final book.
If he doesn't even finish it, you know Brandon Sanderson would.
Yeah, that's true.
Not the same writing style or whatever, but...
that is true, though. Someone will.
do some form of it.
It'll be me.
You know, Jay, you'll do it.
I'll do it. I'll finish book 3. Okay, so as far as adaptations, if this was to be adapted into a movie or a TV show, what would you want to see? Would you want to see a trilogy of movies or a show? I mean, I think they'd probably end up doing a trilogy of movies. I would want to see a TV show, though.
If you make it into movies, how on earth would you make only 3 movies?
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
I don't understand. Like, it's so much detail, and I just don't want to see a movie and have all these things get cut out. And like, there's so much detail, and like, how would you even put the whole legends and stuff in the movie? How would you even keep everything? You would have to split it for sure, but then it's like, where would you even split it? I don't know. Or it would have to be like 5 hours long.
Yeah, that's definitely why I would like to see it
I would
become
be
a show.
sad to see it just to have too much
so
stuff
much cut out.
But then I consider this. Okay, say it's a TV show. There might be some things that could turn you off, specifically because it starts with his entire family getting murdered and then a young child being beaten to death.
Well, no,
I
think that is perfect for a TV show. That grabs people's interest.
I think I would feel uncomfortable watching that.
I think
like if there was a full you can't just make one episode of Tarbian.
No,
so much
it would
happens.
have to be a few episodes.
So you would have to keep coming back for hours watching this kid get beaten by people and try and light someone on fire. I think there's some parts that could turn you off of continuing to watch that because you might not know. I mean, if you knew where it was going, fine. But if you had no idea what this was and you didn't know where it was going to go from this, it might put you off.
I do think that's a good point. I think that because the series is not so action-packed as some other fantasy books, then it might feel a bit meandering. Like, it might feel more like the day-to-day life of Kvothe, and that might not translate as well to like a long-running TV show.
That's true.
So I think in a book they could just get or in a movie, I mean, they could get all the exciting parts and put it in like a trilogy of movies. Yeah. I'd still like it to be its show, though.
If it was a TV show, then they'd just be like, oh, well, we got all the way to the end of the second book. Now let's just write it ourselves. And I'd be
That's what they would do.
No, like, please don't.
Just like they did with Game of Thrones, they'd end up doing the same thing because Rothfuss wouldn't finish it on time, and they'd write a whole new book, and it would be terrible. So
I would not.
Yeah, I would want Rothfuss to be finished with the final book before they make it into a show.
I think it makes more sense to be a movie, but I couldn't see it just being 3 movies because you would leave out far too much.
How are you feeling about reading the second book? Are you excited?
I'm excited. I've been waiting for so long to read it.
Then you can finally watch all my spoiler videos and you'll know what I'm talking about at long last.
I watched them.
Oh, did you watch all of them?
I've watched every one of Jay's videos except his first video because he didn't want me to.
No, you can now.
I remember like slight ideas, but I don't really remember what he said. I would highly recommend this book to all.
Wow, giving it a high recommendation. Wow, I'm so happy. I am so happy you liked it.
Now you won't doubt me.
Well, thanks for having this discussion with me about the book. I'm so happy we finally got to make this video after so long.
Me too.
Those were our thoughts on The Name of the Wind. Let us know in the comments all of your controversial thoughts, and if you disagree with our thoughts as well, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, feel free to tell me why I'm wrong.
Don't forget to check out our vlog channel if you haven't checked it out yet, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you guys for watching.